Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon bringing you another reading today. But today's reading is going to be a little bit different. I did include in the title that we have twin flames, soulmates, and karmic connections. And the reason why, and I'm going to start off with the disclaimer, and I will probably be starting off with one in each of my videos moving forward. Reason being is because some of this content is a little controversial and touchy for some people. Some of the readings that I'm going to do aren't necessarily going to be light and fluffy and full of rainbows. And I know that sometimes people, and again, this is all personal opinions, and I'm not necessarily here to even share my opinion per se on this matter, but there are a lot of opinions out there that these types of connections are just, so spiritual and so positive and wonderful that your twin flame would never treat you in such a horrible way to where it would create all these issues. Again, I'm not here to share whether or not I believe that or not. But the thing is, there is a lot of controversial about that. But there are a lot of people that are out there that are suffering in these types of relationships. Are they twin flame material? Is it really, in fact, a true twin flame connection? Is it just a karmic relationship? Is it a soulmate connection? Whatever it is, you're struggling, okay? So whatever has brought you to this reading, it maybe there's a message in here for you about this. So if you want to identify this information as something that you've gone through with your twin flame, great. If you want to identify this as a karmic relationship, perfect. Maybe it's even about the karmic relationship of another person. However it resonates with you is how you're supposed to take it. I'm not here to deter anyone from a path of not working on a connection. I'm not here to tell anybody that there is, something that's happening here that you just need to walk away from this twin flame connection if that's what you resonate with as a twin flame. That's why I'm saying it's all about how you resonate with the information and what you decide to do with it. So if you're going to say this is a twin flame connection here, and that's what you're choosing to call it, I'm not suggesting that you walk away from that. But if that's what you get from this reading today, that is up to you. And the thing is, the same goes for the soulmate and the karmic relationships. This is a very heavy reading. It's a very somewhat dark reading. So if you guys don't want to stay tuned and even listen to the information because you want it to be light and fluffy, this is definitely not the reading. Also, disclaimer is sometimes I cuss in my readings. When I'm channeling, I just kind of go with it. And if that offends you guys, then you don't have to listen. Just go ahead and click off, no problem. But I do appreciate a lot of the feedback that I'm getting. Some of it is, a lot of it's very positive. And there's a couple of them that have been negative, which I've just deleted the comments. So moving forward, I approve all the comments. So if you're going to say something stupid and shitty, no one's going to see it. I guess but me. So if you want to talk some shit to me or whatever, that's cool. But whatever, no one's going to see it. So for all those keyboard warriors out there that want to get their point across or whatever, it's not going to happen here. So I just wanted to say that. But people that have said, hey, how about this point of view, or it's just all in the delivery. So the delivery has been very positive, and I've taken some of those criticisms, and I've also taken some of those advice or some of those advices, and I have applied that information as to better my content, better my channel, as well as taking other people's points of view into perspective. And another disclaimer that I wanted to say is that there's a lot of opinions that I have. These are opinions. I think that you guys know with the content that I'm giving and the messages that I'm putting forth, whether this is a message from spirit. I do both. I channel spirit's messages, and then I also interpret the cards, and I throw my own little personality in there as well. And so one of the messages, it wasn't from spirit. It was from my personality, my own personal opinion as to if some of you need to step away from the twin flame journey and go experience relationships or other walks of life with somebody else. That is my opinion. This is not coming from spirit. I am not telling you that spirit is telling me to tell you to stop this twin flame journey and go have a one night stand or any of this other stuff. I know that a lot of things that I've said so far, well, that's not true. Not a lot. There have been a couple of things that I've said so far that may have been taken either the wrong way or have just been outright upsetting to some of you. The ones that have come to me to say something about it have been very, very nice about it. So I do appreciate those people that did come forth and just try to get me to see that maybe that might have not been the best way to deliver that information. So from here on out, I'm not going to change who I am or change the content or change the messages, but I will be a little bit more cognizant about the information that I'm putting out there and how it might affect some of you. But again, I'm not going to be all fucking sunshines and rainbows. I can't be. That's just not who I am. I'm a very real, down-to-earth type of a reader, and I think that might be what works for some of you. There are other channels out there that are just full of light and full of positive messages. I love those channels too, but I'm not always in the mood to hear those messages. I'm just not. Sometimes I am very stuck in the 3D. I'm pissed off. I'm in a negative place and I'm not having it. So I have to assume that not everybody on this journey is probably feeling that way all the time either. Let's just get real. But at the end of the day, we are all on the same journey, which is trying to get to the light. Okay. So after all of these messages and anything hard that comes up or these hard things that we're talking about, we talk about a solution. We talk about how to get to the light. We talk about how we're going to raise our vibrations to get to the good stuff. So I don't want anybody to think that this channel is about a pit stop of just negativity and we're just going to hash out our problems like an AA meeting, and we're just going to talk about our experiences. We're not going to really get anywhere. Not to say that's what AA is, but what I'm saying is there's some people that don't want to go to AA because people don't want to talk about their problems. They want to talk about solutions, or they want to move forward. They don't want to wallow in it. And some people stay in the wallow stage and others move above it. So I'm kind of right there in the middle. Sometimes I'm wallowing in it and other times I'm rising above it. So I feel like if you guys are in alignment with my energy and with my readings and the messages that I bring forth light, but sometimes I bring forth darkness, and that's just the reality of life. So again, if you guys need to keep your vibration high at all times, my channel might not be for you. But if you guys are wanting to keep your energy very, very low and not want to grow and just kind of wallow in the pain, then my channel could work for you, but I do encourage you to try to listen to some of the lighter messages to kind of help elevate you to that next step. Wow, that was a really long rant. I don't know why I just felt compelled to say all of that before we got started. So anyways, with that, now we're going to move forward. So like I said, one more time, you guys can apply this to your twin flame if that's what you choose to do. That's if you choose to do that. You can also apply this to just a current relationship or relationship that you've got out of, or in fact, a karmic relationship that you find yourself stuck in. You're not sure if it's a twin flame. Maybe this will give you some kind of understanding after everything is said and done. Or this could also be about somebody else that you know that's in a karmic relationship and what may be going on for them. So rather than saying divine feminine and masculine, I'm not going to say that today. I'm not going to use those choice words today. I'm going to actually use person A and person B. And the reason why is because it will be very unisex. Some people, some females might associate themselves as being person A, but there might be some males out there that are watching that are identifying with person A. So I don't want to exclude that person as being just the female. So again, it's about how you guys are resonating. I just want you to know that. So person A is going to be to the left, okay? And person B is going to be to the right. So I have 2 tarot cards plus an oracle card and plus the Lenormand card. And again, I'm not really reading the Lenormands as their exact meaning. So just in case anybody's out there that knows Lenormand, please know that. So everything that we're using today is from, and I'm probably going to butcher the name, Ciro Marchetti. He's the artist and the illustrator, as well as the author of all of these cards. Just gorgeous, in case anybody wanted to know. So this first position here, well, I should have grabbed my book because I did write down all of these specific meanings as far as the outline that I wanted to follow. I apologize. Okay, so this is going to be the current head and heart space of person A. This right here, person A. So person A, whether that's a male or female, whatever you're identifying with, this is coming up in the reverse position. So automatically it's coming up as a challenging head and heart space. This is the Sun card. So I'm going to turn it up so you guys can just see the image here. This is somebody who's just very much feeling like they are in their power. They're feeling very complete. They're feeling very happy. The Sun is like sunshine. happiness, vitality, feeling energetic, all of those things. But see, as we can see, this person is looking up into the sunlight, and they are seeing all the planets, and everything is in perfect alignment for them. The fact that this card's coming up reversed, things are not in perfect alignment for this person. Who is ever identifying with person A, they are not in perfect alignment. They feel like their world is upside down. They feel like everything is just scattered. Everything is just everywhere. So that is how the current headspace and the heart space is coming up for person A. So all over the place, their world feels upside down. Person B, whoever this is, they're coming across as the Chariot. So in comparison with person A, this person is moving forward. This person is making great strides. This person is basically moving on like they are just doing their thing, and they don't really have any thought process for what this person's going through. It's almost like they're just almost moving away from this situation and all the damage that has occurred. Either they've created it, or they're just walking away from this mess of this person. But they're just moving forward. They're concentrating on themselves. They're concentrating on their destiny. They're concentrating on the road that is before them. Right here, this is the oracle message. This is message from spirit about this situation. And so the person that I see that is in some sort of distress is person A. And so this message is for them. This person is holding on to something that needs to be let go. All right. This person is holding on to this beautiful dove, and it's ready to fly, but yet she's holding on to it. She doesn't want to let go. So the message in this is that you must let this person go. You must let them. And the reason I say this is because we have this scythe coming through. I hope I said that right. Scythe or scythe. But this is a cutting instrument. And in the Lenormand, it actually means cutting away dead things that are no longer working, cutting things out of our life. So whatever this situation is and however you're taking this, it's about cutting something out of your life. It just has, it's not working in its present state. It might not mean forever for some of you, but in this current state that it's in, whether this is happening now or it's already happened, whatever it is, someone is still hanging on to something, and they really need to let it go because this person is not in alignment with you. They're not in alignment with you, and you need to let them go. You need to let them find their own way, and maybe they find their own way for a while, and then that leads back to you. It's a road that leads back to you, but of course nothing's guaranteed, but you have to let this bird fly. You have to let it go. So I think that message coming through is pretty darn clear. So now we're going to go on into the next message. All right, these next set of cards are the current connection between these two people. These are the current connections, or the current connection. This is what's connecting them. So this is either going to be positive or it's going to be negative. And it looks very negative to me from the very beginning. So person A is being represented by the Two of Swords here. The Two of Swords is a card where we are refusing to see something. We're refusing to make a decision. We're refusing to deal with something that's at hand, especially when it's in its reverse position. To me, it's like you may be coming out of that. Sometimes negative cards, which the Two of Swords isn't necessarily a super negative card. It just means that we have to make a choice. We're at a stalemate, where we're at a crossroads, and we're not willing to budge. We're just kind of staying stuck. When it's in its reverse position, this could also indicate that you're going to come out of this. It's not going to last much longer, which is a good thing, because we know that person A needs to let go of person B. We know they have to. So this is coming across as this is somebody who is they come to that realization that they know they got to take off the blinders to the situation. They know they have to do something. They know they have to. It's just a matter of doing it. So they're not quite in the energy right now, but they're getting there, which is the message. Person B is coming up as the Empress in reverse. When the Empress is in reverse, for me personally as a reader, this is somebody who is very physical. This is not somebody who is connected emotionally to person A. Their situation and how they view the union, like how they feel about the union, their connection to it, it's very, very carnal energy coming through here. It's very physical. It's very tied to the physical world, sexual. It's about appetites. It could even be about codependency for some. This could be this person's connection to person B. It's very codependent. It's very toxic. There's a lot of toxicity. Some people could even be on drugs or addicts or just alcoholism, certain addictions could be at play that create this person to really not even be awake enough to experience the connection of the beautiful Empress in its upright position. This person is using the Empress in a sense for their own physical pleasures. They're not even able to tap into anything beautiful with the Empress to experience it at its completeness. So what is the message here from Spirit? It's the Devil card. That's what this is. And so for me, we have the man who is controlling the woman by these strings. And she is blind. She has her arm up against her eyes. She's shielding herself because she doesn't want to deal with what she already knows. I think it's very, very depicted here with the blindfolds and covering one's eyes, of not wanting to face the situation, not wanting to face the music of who this person is really, who this person really is in this situation. Now, I'm not saying this person cannot change. I never want to put that out there as a definite, but who this person is right now and the energy that they are bringing forth to this connection is not healthy. And it is depicted again with the snake and the Lenormand. This is somebody who's very sly. This is somebody who's very manipulative. This is somebody who can get you to see things that maybe aren't true. This could be somebody who's either lying to you, or they're connected to you. They're using you for something, or they know you're addicted to them, so they play off of that addiction. Whatever this is, it's extremely negative. So if you guys are identifying with this energy, that is just that energy again of the first message of you have to let this situation go so it can either heal or it can just fall away from your life altogether. So like I said before, I don't want to apply that to only twin flames, because that's saying to a twin flame person to forget about your twin flame. That's not what I'm saying. But if this is in fact something that's happening or has happened, and you need to step away from that for a while to regain some kind of strength moving forward or healing, then that's what you're going to need to do. And for some karmic people, some karmic partnerships, or people that you realize that's not my twin flame. Maybe this is an indication of, yes, I can let this person go. This person is not radiating at the same level as me. They're not even meeting me eye to eye. We only have this in common, which isn't getting us anywhere. It's not this fulfilling connection that I'm looking for. They're not able to embody the Empress, which is supposed to be this beautiful connection. They're not able to even meet me there. So because of that, and because of all of these things going on, I just need to let it go. Okay, so that is the current connection for what's going on for some of you out there. Okay, so these next set of cards have to do with things that need to be cleared between this relationship. These are also things that are karmic, lessons that need to be learned, things that they can really use in order to take something positive from this. But this is also something that they might have issues with. And so this might be a continual pattern moving forward for both of them. So these are just kind of issues that are popping up here. We've already seen a lot of issues so far, especially from person B. So what we have here is the 9 of coins, which is the Knight of Pentacles, 9 of Earth coming through for person A. So this right here to me is like a lesson. This person either didn't take care of themselves and gave all of their attention and all of their power over to person B. And so what's happened is they've basically have nothing on reserve for themselves, okay? This card here is a beautiful card when it's in its upright position, like I just showed you, because this is somebody who has built things up for themselves. This is somebody who's extremely independent. They work on themselves. They build up their own coins. They build up their own garden, and they are able to sit back and go, wow, look at what I have created. It's in its reverse position because that's not what's happening. Because what's happening is they haven't been taking care of themselves, or they didn't. And so they're not able to look at where they're at now and feel good about it. They feel powerless. They feel on the bottom. They feel on the bottom while maybe person B is off living their life. And so it has kind of left them in the dust. And that really, really sucks for person A. But again, it's all about choices, and it's all about what you have either allowed someone to do. No one has taken your power, you have given it to them. So that's just that gentle reminder, if that didn't sound gentle, it's that gentle reminder of just taking back your power and regaining that structure and that strength to be able to, build yourself back up once again. It's not all is lost, is what the lesson is, okay? Person B. This person is a juggler. This is the 2 of coins, 2 of pentacles for some of you. So this person is a real juggler. This person is juggling you or was juggling you and another situation. It could be a person, or this could also mean that this person has work on their mind. Other things are more important. Friends, family, other things besides you took precedence over your relationship or your connection. They had other people in their environment or other things that were more important. And in some cases, that's okay, but it was extremely lopsided. There wasn't an equal give and take here for me. That's being depicted in this card. But I also want to say this, is that for some twin flames, and I don't feel that this is really going to connect, this particular message is going to connect for a lot of you, but I do still feel compelled to say it. The Two of Pentacles can indicate twin flame relationships. In this card, you're not going to see it because it's not your traditional Rider-Waite imagery. In traditional Rider-Waite, we have a man and he is holding an infinity symbol in his hands. And the infinity symbol for some readers could indicate twin flames. So I just wanted to put it out there just in case somebody was like, hey, that's the Two of Pentacles. Doesn't that mean twin flame? It does. So for some of you twin flames, it could be that this is this indicator that you have obviously gone through a hard time with this particular person. Okay. And so this is telling you, this is the foundation of the union. These are the lessons. This is kind of like what you guys are learning, what you're experiencing within the union. What it's even all about. What was it all for? What you have to learn moving forward. So it could be for some of you that you are in fact twin flames, that you are in fact connected to this person, and that is why you have such a hard time letting go of this connection. But the message moving forward is about there might be some time that needs to be, some time needs to go on in order to heal. You may need to step away from this partnership or this person, or let them go energetically for the time being until you can get a hold of yourself. Because what I see is a lot of things are upside down for person A. Person A is really struggling, and person B seems to be going on their merry way like nothing happened. They're all fine. Everything's all good in their world. And that really sucks for person A because they're not feeling that way. They feel shattered. They feel like person B maybe abandoned them or didn't give a shit anymore, and they're just kind of doing their own thing. So it just creates a lot of negative feelings. But like I said, for some of you, this could be that twin flame connection that holds you, that binds you, that creates that feeling in you that I can't let go. I know there's something deeper here. I know there's a deeper lesson to learn. And there might be some of you that are even able to work through this pain and start just sending that unconditional love for this person that has hurt you so much, this unconditional love and understanding, and holding that person up in light. So that could be the lesson for some of you as well. The oracle message coming through though here is that this person B here for person A, and this is just the way I'm going to read it, is not the best. It's not the best energy for this this person A, because they have to defend themselves in some way. They have to be very careful. So person A is very afraid and very frightened in a way of person B, because person B has created a lot of pain for them. So it might be for a time that this person A goes on and leaves that person B behind for just a while. I'm not saying anything's definite here. I'm not saying forever, but for some of you, that might be the message, is that you just, again, it's like you have to leave it behind for the time being, so that way you can get a hold of yourself. That way you can start to just nourish yourself again and feel strong again, because we can see the person in this figure, they don't feel strong. They feel very frail. They feel very frightened. They feel very, almost like victimized in a way. So it's like that has to heal. There needs to be time to heal. Okay. But for some of you, what I'm even getting to is that that person is still going to very much either be a part of your environment, or they're going to return. They're going to come back. It's destined. They're just going to come back. And it's going to be either for a karmic reason, because there's going to be a balancing of karma, or for some of you, it's just meant to be. They're meant to be a part of your life later on. But that energy is going to revisit at some point. You're going to have to revisit this pain. You're going to have to revisit the issues, or you're going to have to learn from it. One of the three. But this cross here in the Lenormand, oh, this is a very burdensome card. It's like a heavy burden, that cross to bear. Okay. So it's all about heavy stuff. So for a lot of you, I really feel that there's just very heavy karmic overtures on this whole reading for this couple here. Whoever you're identifying this with, there's just very, very heavy stuff going on. Very, very heavy burdens, heavy energies here. A lot of stuff to work with and a lot of stuff to heal from, but a lot of stuff, so I want to add this, to learn from. So many great lessons in this really heavy karmic lesson, okay? Whatever that may be. It's just something to learn, something to grow, something to use in a positive way moving forward. It doesn't have to kill you. It doesn't have to ruin you for life. It doesn't have to be a pain that you carry with you forever. Now, again, if there's this universal connection between some of you, this, you know, something that connects you on a soul level, then this is definitely feels burdensome in a way. It feels burdensome that this could be, in fact, a twin flame energy, that this is something that you're burdened, like it feels like a burden that you're carrying, this like, oh, it would almost be easier if this person wasn't my twin flame. It would almost be better if I didn't feel connected. I wish I could just forget about this individual. That could be it for some of you too. Again, you know, I don't want anybody saying if that was really your twin flame, you wouldn't feel that way. Who the fuck am I to say that, or, you know, one way or another? I'm not. So I'm not going to. But some of you might be feeling that way. So if you do, it's a heavy burden. It's not a heavy burden. It feels like a heavy burden to bear. So it's a lot of work that needs to be done. So sorry I spent so much time on that particular one, but for me, it's like, it's the whole reason for the connection. It's the whole point. And that point is that this person A really needs to start taking care of themselves, because this person, I'm not saying they're doing just fine, because I feel that they definitely have a lot of things that they have going on too, but it just doesn't appear this person is really that bothered. It appears that way, but they're definitely burdened as well, but it's just in a different way, and they're going about life in a different way than person A. But regardless, I just feel that moving forward, they may revisit this again, have to deal with it at some point or another. And if they don't deal with these dark shadows and these fears, this person A, then it's like it's just going to come back to bite them in the ass later. It's going to haunt them. They're going to either drag this energy into a new situation, and they just don't want to do that. You want to be able to heal from this so you can move forward without this constantly looming, this like dark force that's just looming over you. It's just hanging on you like just an old haunting ghost, if that makes sense. Okay, moving on to the next. Okay, so this is the current environment for both person A and person B. So the current environment for person A here is the moon card, and it's in its reverse position. Now the moon for me, when it's upright, it's a little bit of a darker card, because this is when things are just very unknown, very mysterious. There could be a lot of illusions. People could be lying, just going through a lot of a very deceptive phase where they just have no idea how the hell they're even gonna get to the light again. They're just in the dark side of the moon almost. So when it's in its reverse position for me as a reader, this is an indication here that they're going to be coming out of the darkness soon. So that's a good thing. So the environment will be illuminated by your environment for person A. Friends will come to your aid. Friends will really be a part of your environment at this time. Loyal friends, people that are good to you, people that you know you can trust, people that you know have your best intentions at heart. They're your flock, and you will be moving forward with them. They will really help to heal, or help in aiding heal you, and not heal you. They're not going to be healing you. I guess what I'm trying to say is they're going to be helping aid in that process, getting you to walk the walk until you believe. Do you see these swans? Obviously, she's not a swan, but she's still moving forward with this herd, because she knows at some point she will believe that she is a part of the herd. But for now, she feels separate from the herd, because she's healing, because she's trying to figure out her own way. She's trying to figure things out. So that's the point, is that this person is really going to be utilizing the people around her in a very positive way. She's going to be walking forward with her flock, and her flock is really going to be helpful in that department. So now for person B. Person B is doing actually quite the opposite. This is the Three of Cups in reverse. This is somebody who's basically just living off the earth. And when I say that, I mean they're living off just earthly pleasures, what's in front of them. It's about party time. It's about connections that you have with people that there just really isn't a lot of depth. It's a very surfacey, superficial kind of experience. So just a lot of meaningless stuff going on, not really anything meaningful, no deep connections. So this person may have friends around them, sure, and maybe moving forward, but they're actually moving forward in an energy that's not very positive. They're moving forward with a very kind of like superficial energy where they're just not connecting with anybody. So this person is growing, person A, but person B, it's like they're still just not really, they're just either not growing up or they're just still not ready to learn something from this. They're just still willing to go out and almost use people for their own personal gain. Kind of like what I feel that's already happened here with person A and person B. Person B really did a good job of either using or just taking from person A and just really didn't give a lot back. So what I'm trying to say is, if you guys are worried in their current environment, if they are giving anybody else more than they gave you, I don't see it. It's not coming through with this reading at this point in time and space. So if that was a concern, that's not happening. So anyways, that is the current environment for person A and person B. So they both share this energy, but this one here is specifically for person B, not in a good place. Okay, so this next set of cards are keys in coming back together in union. And if in fact later on down the line you wanted to revisit this union once again, or if in fact you're in it, you're currently struggling, this might be the things that help put it back together. So for person A, Page of Cups, the person A needs person B to not be the Page of Cups anymore. The Page of Cups is an emotionally immature person. Okay, they are young-minded. The way that they process things, just their maturity level when it comes to commitment and a relationship isn't there. And it hasn't been there, which is why it didn't work in the first place, amongst other reasons. So person A really needs that person B to become more emotionally stable and more emotionally mature. They need them to come at them in a different way if it would even work in the future. This is what person B needs from person A. Person B wants a queen of coins. Now, the queens don't have to be females. It just means this is somebody who has all of her coins going on. She's got her career going on. She's taking care of herself. She's self-sufficient. She's independent, all of those things. So the thing is, we know that person A came across as that 9 of coins energy, but was in reverse. This was somebody who wasn't taking care of themselves. They either stopped taking care of themselves or they just really weren't in a stable environment. Maybe they were looking for person B to save them. Could be financially, or just they depended on person B way too much, and it just drained person B. So person B is saying, hey, you know what? Next time if we get together into a relationship, this is who I want you to be. I want you to be the Queen of Coins. I want you to be that more stable type of energy, or I want you to just have your shit together. Whatever that is, I don't know if that's going to resonate with some people out there. It might with some, but I know that sometimes there are people that can step away from a relationship because they see another person kind of floundering, whereas they are giving them all of their power. They are just not taking care of themselves, or they're just not pursuing their dreams, or they're financially in debt and they're just not getting their lives together. Sometimes that can be a real downfall when it comes to relationships. It could really, regardless of how you feel about somebody, sometimes that could be a real drag and it can really affect the relationship. So person B really needs this Queen of Coins. Person A really needs that page to turn into a king. Okay? So as we can see, they both want certain things within each other that maybe they aren't. So that tells me right off the bat that that is a major challenge, which is why the mountains are coming up. The mountains is a card of challenges, big obstacles to overcome. So if this relationship, this union, in fact, were to work, these people have a lot of work to do in this department. Person B needs to emotionally grow and mature, and person A needs to embody the Queen of Coins for each other. I'm not saying they have to do this in order to thrive in life. I mean, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But in this person's viewpoint, that's what they want. That's what each other wants, if that's making sense. And then here, that is going to unlock the mystery of this connection. That key in that globe. it can't be attained to open up that box. It's a mystery. It's a puzzle. So it's a big major obstacle to figure out how we're going to get the key out of there in order to open up that box, so then we get the answers. So this is about timing for me. This is about growth. This is about two people really needing to figure out whether or not this is a connection, a relationship they even want to revisit down the line, if it's even worth working for or changing for, or if it's just like we're done altogether. The karma's over. Whatever we had, it's done. Lesson learned, move on, become a better person moving forward. All of those things would apply. But if you are really wanting to hang in there, these are the certain things that need to be changed for that other person to look at that and really want to continue to be in that relationship, or want to be in that relationship with you again. So now we're moving on to the next. Okay, so this next position has to do with the immediate future. So that would be if person A and person B came back together anytime soon. This is what they could expect from one another in the union. So the very first message that I got here, and when I shuffled, 3 popped out, obviously for a reason. But person A, what they would get is a Knight of Cups. Person A doesn't want a Knight of Cups. Person A said, you know what? The Page of Cups is not what I want. This is somebody who's emotionally immature. Now, the Knight of Cups is a little bit more mature than the Page of Cups, but it's still not the King. Person A wants a King of Cups. They don't want to waste any more time on this shit. So they're looking for a mature person who is ready to commit. The Knight of Cups is still not ready to 100% commit. He's ready to be interested and partake in a loving type of a relationship. And I said he because the knights can sometimes represent, he's, but this person just really is embodying the energy of somebody who's coming in real quick, but they're not necessarily going to stay. So person A really isn't interested in this. That's what you would get. You still wouldn't get what you're looking for. Next, this actually came up in reversed. 3 of Coins. 3 of Coins is about working together. It's about working together in harmony with other people. So it's coming up reversed because you're not working in harmony. There's still something that's not working. So coming back together with this Knight of Cups, you're still going to end up in the same spot. It's still not going to work. And then here, this one also came up in reverse too, the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords has every right to be very cautious moving forward. She has every right to basically have that sword protecting her heart and to utilize her logic. And unfortunately, when she comes up in reverse, this is an indication that the Queen has a hard time being logical. She has a hard time, just using her mind to utilize what she should do, what she should do moving forward. So to me, it's almost like this Knight weakens the Queen and begins to take away her power, can manipulate her because she's not mentally strong. So this is not a good thing. Not a good thing moving forward if these two were to come back together. You could. I'm seeing that you could come together temporarily. Might have a good time for a little bit, but you're going to end up in the same spot that you were in before because the major work hasn't been done yet. For this person B, this is where they're at, okay? 2 of Wands. Now, in this particular deck here, it's a little different for me. And I sometimes go with the meanings of the cards or I go with the picture. And this one I'm going with the picture because I like it so much. This 2 of Wands, 2 are duality. So it's 2 people for me. These are the 2 people. This is person A and person B. And they're both connected by this key. Now, this key can open up both of those boxes to create that ultimate happiness. The fact that it's reversed, again, tells me that that key is not, it's not going to be balanced. One box is going to get opened and the other one isn't. It's not in unison. It is not meshing. It's still not a give and take. There's still something that's off balance there. One person will discover something, whereas the other will still be lost. And then we have clouds, which are depression and sadness and hard times and hardships. So again, in this universal message here, this man, he's still playing the same old shit. He's still doing the same old stuff. He's still projecting the same exact picture, okay? But what this tells me though, because I did sense that for some of these connections, that the male would be returning or wouldn't necessarily be leaving the environment of person A And the reason I'm saying he and she now is because I'm looking at the cards. Okay, so I am putting that into perspective. They're not 100% going to be leaving their life. They're still going to be watching over or spying or lurking or kind of checking in with what the female is doing. So because they're doing that, I think if some males are identifying with this person A energy, you're only hurting yourself by hanging on. Okay. But if this in fact this is a female and she's identifying with person B being a male, what I'm seeing is this male may reach out at a later time. So you'll have to kind of deal with this again. You'll have to deal with having your guard up, having him return and still not being exactly what you're needing him to be. He's still not going to be that king. It doesn't mean he can never be the king. He's just not going to be the king anytime soon. So it's like, why replay the old movie? Why replay the whole scene, the same scene over and over again? Okay. But what I also just picked up on is a message is that this male is projecting an image outside of himself, and he is wanting something unrealistic. So if there's some of you females out there that he is saying to you, that you're not good enough or you're not exactly what he's looking for, whatever the deal is, his ideals and what he's looking for, that Queen of Coins maybe, okay, it's not going to bring him the happiness that he is thinking it's going to. And he might realize that later and come back to you at a later time, and maybe you'll have him, maybe you won't. But that is telling you something huge, that he is very stuck in his projection of things, of what he thinks he wants. An image, a certain image that he has in his mind that you might not be fitting at this time. And so it really doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with him. So I'm hoping that message that just came through might have a little special something for some of you out there. Not to take it so personally. It's not about you. And I almost hate that the cliche. It's not you, it's me. It's so hard to believe. But I think in some cases, sometimes it is true. So now, the next thing that we're doing is I wanted to ask Spirit. All right? I wanted to ask Spirit, give me 3 different paths, not options, 3 different paths. That way, if you guys identify with any of these paths that you want to walk down, this is what you can expect. So it's not about choosing your path. It's about looking at the options that are ahead of you. So that way it's like exploring the future in a way as to kind of how that would work out if you decided to go down that path. So we're going to go over that next. Okay, so path number 1 presented itself when I was shuffling cards, and in combination, these 2 cards came up. So this card was for people that are going to decide to just kind of either wait. They're going to wait on time. They're going to give it to the universe. They are going to just let go for the time being, and they're just going to see what happens. So they're kind of open. They're open to the relationship if it comes back, or they're open to just kind of seeing what happens. They're open to other avenues, other experiences. So they're not literally waiting in vain, where they're not doing anything, they're not living their lives, but they are just going to see what happens. They're giving it to God, they're giving it to the universe, they're giving it to Spirit, all that. Hoping for a return of love. This to me also indicates that there may very well be someone that does come back into the situation. They may come back into the situation. It may work, it may not. So I wanted to draw 7 cards, which is exactly what I did. But on that 7th draw, another card popped out, and I'll go to that meaning in the very end. So the very first card that popped up is just kind of like messages from Spirit in regards to if you decide to go down this road. So it's not about choosing like my other readings. You don't have to choose option A, B, or C. This is just path A or path 1. And if you decide to do this, this is kind of like what Spirit's saying that you could experience while you're in that waiting period or while you're living your life. Cycles come up. Beautiful. So this is all about cycles. This is all about time. This is all about cycles of the moon, different phases in people's lives, going through different changes. You know, the moon constantly changes and goes through different movements and cycles. And so that's that indication for the person that decides. So this is all about the person, really. It's not necessarily about the other person. It's about you if you are identifying with person A or for person B for yourself. This is what you can expect. Cycles. It's going to take time. People are going to have to change. People are going to have to do the work. And I'm seeing in this case here, Then it might be the female, the identifier of the female. That doesn't exclude males, but this is coming up as the high priestess of fire. So this is somebody who has a lot of fiery energy. She has a lot of passion for life. She has a lot of creativity. She has a lot of drive to do something. So this is a very creative card. So in the meantime, while either she's in this waiting period, giving it to the universe, seeing what happens, she's still going to take care of herself, and she's going to concentrate on her own fire. She's going to concentrate on her own skills and her own dreams. She's going to make things happen. And in the meantime, too, she's going to get to a better state within herself. We've got the meditation card. This is all about just going within, seeking the answers from within, getting calm, pulling away for a while. Maybe she just needs to take a break from the outside world or from dating as a whole for a while. Maybe that's what she needs to do. And this is about listening to her inner voice. Maybe either next time or if this person comes back, listening to that inner voice and saying, does it feel right? And what I'm hearing, is it the truth? What's going on? It's really about receiving something and really listening to the message. If you ask for guidance, it's about listening to the message and applying the knowledge. Instead of asking for a sign and then when you get it, you just kind of turn it away and say, that's not the message I wanted to hear. It's truly about listening. Something about self-worth here. It's about working on your self-worth in the meantime, getting to a better place with yourself. Maybe the whole reason that you were even involved in this situation or even allowed certain things to happen to you is because you had low self-worth. So it's about really building up that self-worth and self-esteem within yourself, getting that fire back into your belly in whatever way you can, whatever works for you. This card is about wishing. So it's about not being in a wishful state, being in a very action state, doing something, not sitting at the wishing well and just being sad and depressed because something isn't happening yet. If you want something to happen, you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to create that, is what you're going to have to do. So this for me is a lot of action. We do have some energy where she's retreating within herself. She's taking time to take care of herself, to lick her wounds, but then she comes out the end. She's very strong. She's working on her self-esteem. She's working on her creative side or whatever it is that she's wanting to create in the world, and she's moving forward like this horse. She is moving forward. This is good stuff. Now, the extra card that came out was the High Priestess of Air, and I have two messages that come through with this. One of the messages is that she also embodies the High Priestess of Air, or I should say person A, embodies the person or the High Priestess of Air. This is all about somebody who just gets smarter. They just get smarter from this whole experience. They take the knowledge from it and they grow from it. They don't let it ruin them. They grow from this information. They apply the lessons and now they're smarter moving forward. They're a lot sharper when it comes to bullshit that comes their way. They're no longer going to deal with it. They're going to cut people out of their lives that just aren't serving them for their highest good. Not in a selfish way, but people that are dragging them down. What I'm also picking up from this one here is that could be that there is another female in the mix. There could be this High Priestess of Air. I know that in a lot of my other readings, there was this Queen of Swords that kept coming up with some of the male karmic partners. Now that does not mean that the Queen of Air, as in air signs, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, that these are bad people. Absolutely not. This is just identifying an actual, a female for one in someone's life. And maybe she embodies some of the negative characteristics of the Queen of Swords, not the astrological sign. So sometimes the Queen of Swords, as we can see, is somebody who can be manipulative, but she's somebody that could have been broken down as well. So there's a lot of mental shit going on there. She's just not strong. She's mentally weak. So there could be a lot of things that are going on with this Queen of Swords that's showing up. You either embody this in a very positive way, or this could just be another female that is in fact in the picture with this situation with person B or person A, however you're identifying it with. So that could just be it. So I just wanted to give you guys that additional message. So this is one path that you can go down. Give it to the universe. Maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't. But regardless, I see a lot of growth with this path. I see a lot of strength in this path. I see a lot of healing and working on oneself on this path. So that's just to give you an idea. If that's a path that you're ready to go down, this might very well be where it leads, somewhere very, very positive. So now we're going to move into option B, or path 2. All right, so this is path B, option 2. This person right here, sorry to say this and be blunt, but this person says, fuck this shit, I'm out. Okay, they're done. They're done either forever or they're just done for the time being. They're done with the bullshit. They're done with the situation for now. They're tired of it and they're ready to move forward. That person is very determined, as you can see, to move forward. And they're not going to let anybody get in their way. The sun here is just, they're going towards happy times. They are going towards happier times. The sun is on the horizon for these people. They can see it. They want it. They want to go towards more positive healing things. They're tired of being in the darkness. They know it's going to be hard work. It's not like they know they can do it, but they know they have to be disciplined. They know that they're going to possibly be tested along the way. That person B or person A, however they're identifying, could come back into their lives, and they know that they're going to have to really defend themselves. They're going to have to hold that sword very close to their body, and they know they're going to have to basically be like, no, we're not going down this road again. Whatever that is, whatever that makes sense to some of you out there, but there's something about being very structured and being very disciplined and obedient when it comes to this path. So it's not an easy path, but it's not an impossible path, because I see that this person is very, very determined, because the next card is complicated. It's a complicated path. It's like Spirit ain't gonna lie. It's definitely gonna test your strength. Okay, but really, there's something to be very hopeful about, is what they're trying to tell you. There's something very hopeful about this path. There is hope on the horizon, and there's something very beautiful as well. There's something very beautiful to be experienced on this path as well. This one here saying forbidden. There's certain doors that are closing for a reason. You're not meant to go down that path. Not this path. This is a wonderful path that's open, but the door for this relationship or whatever it is that you might be struggling with is closed for a reason. The fledgling is all about being reborn, starting fresh. This is almost like the Fool. So it's just really about getting in touch with that inner child and nurturing that inner child and just kind of being almost reborn again. And who are you going to be reborn into? The High Priestess of Earth, man. She is a stable chick. She is somebody that's just got all of her ducks in a row. She's super stable. She feels really good about herself. She feels good about her environment, her coins, everything. She just embodies all of that logical, just practical, just a lot of earthly strength. This is just a wonderful, wonderful road. So if this is something that you guys are resonating with and a path that you are contemplating, what Spirit is saying is that this is what you can expect. I mean, not everything's set in stone. There could be certain things that happen or not happen on that path. But as of right now, whoever is receiving this message or needs it, maybe that's what you need to hear at this point to give you that extra oomph so you can move forward and move past this situation. So now we're going to move on to option C, which is the last option. Okay, so this is option C, or path 3. These people want to stay. The reason I say this is because the anchor came up with this card. This is somebody who stays put, they stay loyal. Now, this could be for some of those twin flames out there that do not want to part from this energy. They want to work it through. They want to be alone or whatever the deal is and continue to work on themselves and hold that special space for this partner. If that's what you guys are identifying with, if twin flames are even identifying with this reading, you may or may not. But this one here, this is about holding on to the past. So this woman here, she's looking at this picture and she's remembering this person. She's not going to let go. So that's what those two mean. So this path is going to be for people that are either going to hang in there and they're going to either go back into this relationship when it might not be ready. This would be for somebody who's going to stay loyal to the very end, or somebody that's just having a really hard time just letting go. So this, they don't know what else to do. So this is that path for them. So what I'm seeing though here, right off the bat, is we have the Lust card. So this Lust card could be an indication for some of you that maybe what the connection is it's just a very lusty connection. It's a very earthly connection. That could be for some twin flames though too, because sometimes people, when they are connecting with somebody that's so such a magical, you know, like a very strong connection, it can sometimes feel very 3D earthy. You know, you're not always going to feel that mystical connection. You know, it could start here and grow into something else. So I don't want to discount just because someone feels lust that it can't be a pure connection. Sometimes that energy between twin flames is very, very powerful. So it can just be very, gosh, almost like painful to separate from. That's just my opinion. The warrior here, oh God, this is a bad boy. So again, this might not be twin flame for some of you. This could just be just a guy. He's a bad boy and you just have a thing for bad boys. He is gorgeous too. I mean, he's probably the most gorgeous man that you've ever laid your eyes upon. And this is one of the reasons it's so hard to let go of this situation. It's not that he could do no wrong, but you might take him back and you shouldn't. So this is definitely someone who has you in their grips. And it might not be anything that they're even doing. They may say, you know what, I no longer want to be with you anymore. And you're hanging on because you just cannot grasp that this person, like you're not going to have this connection with them anymore. You can't just even fathom being without this person because you're so attracted to them. You're so magnetically pulled to them. The sex was so fucking amazing. You just like, it's mind blowing. You just don't know what you're going to do. So this here is the honesty card though. It's about being honest either with yourself or that this person has a hard time with honesty. So this is not a good connection. Because you got to be honest with yourself. It's very chaotic. It's very destructive. So the person that decides that they're going to hang in there, I'm not saying that it couldn't work out. But again, we already kind of went over the first reading before we even went through these paths, that where it was probably headed was it's still in its infancy stages. It hasn't really matured yet to get to be able to, you know, come to a good, healthy conclusion. So this is all about, you may need to go down this path or stay connected to this individual for a while. And for some of you, it could work, and others, it just might. Some of you might be okay. That's how I want to say that. Some of you might be okay in this. Some of you might be drawn to chaotic situations. Who am I to say that's right or wrong? That might work for some of you. Some of us, it doesn't work for. But this might be an energy where you're okay with being. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. So you could stay in that. You know, I've done readings before for people that probably shouldn't be together because they bring out the worst in each other, yet they're still trucking. So who the hell am I to say they belong together or not, you know? So I just want to throw that out there. This one here is about vision. This is about trusting your intuition, okay? Really, really trusting your intuition here. And I also want to put out too, because the moon's there, and I know the moon came up in other cards, but I feel compelled to say it with this one. This could have some Pisces undertones to it. Very, very enigmatic and very dreamy. Oh God, right here. Always so dreamy. So for some of you, it could be a Pisces that you're dealing with. This is somebody who is just like, you have that deep connection with them, and it's just like, it seems that you just can't break away from it, you know? I'm not saying that Pisces is a bad guy, but this could just be that's another element to this person, that it's just very magnetic. They're very deep. They're very spiritual. They're just very like, you know, you're connected in that sense. You could be connected within your dreams as well, as what I'm getting. So this is a definitely a very hard, a hard thing here for this path. But it's all about trusting your visions and trusting your intuition, doing some dream work. Maybe for some twin flames, if this is a twin flame thing, it's talking about doing the dream work, meeting your partner in the astral plane and setting those intentions before you set off into the astral plane on some healing work that you want to do with this individual. Because maybe here in that third dimensional existence, that this relationship it's too difficult right now, the way that it's in. And so maybe in another part of, you know, a dimension or within yourselves or your heart, you can do that work with them and really help that along. Whatever it is that's going to heal you and get you to the next healthy step is what I suggest you do. This has to come to a conclusion. So we have the beginning, chapter 1, and then we have the end, but we have no information in between. So this tells me that this story may not be over for some of you. It may not be over. You may revisit it at another time. So if some of you are looking for, is it over forever? It may not be. This may be that you come back together with this person at another time. That's come up several times in this reading. But something has to be, a conclusion needs to be drawn. There needs to be an end to this chapter. You guys have written this story, and the story has maybe gone around over and over and over again, and it's going nowhere. So now it needs to be end. It needs to be ended. It needs to come to its conclusion. And then ultimately it's about letting it go. So really the message here for this entire reading as a whole, regardless of if you were person A or person B, or what you represented it, or what you identified with, and all of these paths, what the main message of this entire reading is that you must let it go. Because in its present state right now, there's something that's not working. There's something that is very either toxic for some, or just you're drawn to somebody, but it's just in a very unhealthy way. It could be obsessive for some. It could be very chaotic for some, unhealthy, just something. But it's all about letting this person go, because there's something that's not working. And if it's not working, I don't feel that it's working with somebody else. And I think that might be a fear for some of you out there, that this person's just going to leave you, this person that has all these issues and problems, and they're going to leave you, and they're just going to find major happiness with somebody else, and you were just this flawed human being that just couldn't get it together for them. I mean, I'm not going to say that this person can't go off and marry the next person they come across, because I've actually heard of that happening before many times with people I know. They talked about how they were never going to get married, and then all of a sudden the guy splits and they marry the next broad that comes along. Now, of course, those marriages didn't last, but it's just like, oh my God, like what was wrong with me? Why couldn't he marry me? I don't know why people do certain things. I don't know why people make the decisions that they make. I don't know what's going on in people's heads. So I don't really claim to know what's going on in this energy, in this situation, like the heads of the people. I'm just going with the messages that Spirit brought for us today, and determining the meanings of those tarot cards and what they really mean, and hopefully give some healing and some messages out there to people that are really struggling with these types of relationships. So again, I just want to close the reading by saying, you know, if you want to identify this as a twin flame, that's up to you. If you want to identify this as a soulmate or a karmic relationship, past or present or whatever, that's totally up to you. It's about how you are identifying with this information and what you want to do with it. And by no means am I suggesting that anybody break away from their twin if that's what it is, or, you know, tell people to kick rocks when really they want to work things out. It is up to you. Everybody has free will, and everybody has the free will to take the information that they get from any reader out there. You know, they have to take it the way that they're resonating with it. It's, you know, it's not about anybody telling you what to do. It's just about, you know, it's about taking the message and using it in a positive way. So if you hear something negative and it just doesn't feel right for you, then don't take the message. Don't take it, chuck it. Don't do it. You know, so my messages and my way of doing the readings is not the only way, and I don't claim for it to be the right way either. So I don't know. I just wanted to say all that before I closed up. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. And yeah, I'm going to be bringing another reading on here, probably either today or tomorrow, that's going to be very light and fluffy. That's the great thing here, is that I am finding that there are so many different people that like so many different ways of these readings. Some people need this. Other people need light and fluffy. I get it. Sometimes I'm in the mood for that too. So really on this channel, what you're going to get is a little bit of everything. Sometimes I'm going to do some options where you guys can pick things. Some of you like that. A lot of you didn't really care for it. And I really thought that was a lot of fun, but it was fun for me. I mean, it might not have been fun if I'm looking for a message. So some of you let me know that it just wasn't your thing. No biggie, because I'm still going to offer other readings that maybe will resonate with you guys. And maybe there's some of you out there that are just like, I don't resonate with shit, and that's fine too. No problem. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching and subscribing. if you've subscribed, and the beautiful messages that you continue to put out there, and any feedback that you guys give me, whether it is constructive or positive. It's great all the way around, so I appreciate it. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys for the next reading.